Hello, beautiful people. I'm Deb. I like to share the human experience to help others with their human experience. So if you're new here, it's mostly a talk therapy for myself. And I get a lot of feedback that it resonates with other people and helps them out as well. So here we are doing daily videos. And I actually just want to start this video with I'm going to start doing live videos in the night times. I'm not sure if it'll be a daily thing. I'm going to start daily just until I can find which day actually works for me. And yeah, I'm going to start at 7 p.m. my time, which is Mountain Standard Time. So 2 hours behind New York, 1 hour ahead of California. If you're in Arizona, nobody knows what timeline you're on. I don't even think you guys are part of Earth because nobody ever knows what time zone you're in. So isn't that weird? What a weird concept. Yes, this channel. Videos. They started where I would have inspirations come and I would record a video. And then there would be dry spells, or where not necessarily dry spells where information didn't come, but where I wasn't able to record when the inspiration was coming. And so I started to dedicate my mornings to doing a daily video. That way I could allow the space for source and for God and messages to come through. And I could ensure the space that I'm showing up for something that I believe in, which is improving my speaking skills. And sometimes I actually try on the speaking skills, and sometimes I pretend like, not pretend, but sometimes I am just talking as it flows, or as if I was talking to a person. I'm talking to a camera with a light, with a wall in the background. Well, it's also my bathroom, but I could close the door and then it would be a wall. Yeah, so this is a very weird situation, but also very beautiful. And I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to be able to get on the internet and put my voice and my vibration out there for millions of people with an internet connection to observe and to listen and to witness and to resonate with. So, this is a journey, right? Awaken with Deb is a journey of sharing the human experience to help others with their human experience. So here we are. Today's video. Today's video does not have much inspiration behind it other than following intuition, following signs and synchronicities. Nothing is a coincidence, and everything has meaning, but yet nothing has meaning. And everything has no meaning until you assign it meaning also. And that's why Earth is amazing, because it's just one great big paradox of duality. And it's kind of annoying. So ultimately, I guess our aim is to change that. If you're a frequent watcher of mine, you've heard me talk about the new Earth, and new Earth is ultimately, we live in a universe of energy, and the Earth and our little solar system and our little galaxy inside the universe, it's traveling. Everything is always traveling and moving and spiraling, and things are ebbing and flowing and waving and swirling and getting angry and getting happy. And there's a macro to the micro. And even as much as humans, as earthly as our emotions are, the ebb and the flow and the spiral is very much a universal aspect. And as we've been traveling through space, whatever you want to call it, however big you want to go, there's different energies that have affected Earth. And the Earth, it's not new the Earth has gone through these cycles. It's not hard to find, especially now with AI and the internet, and this information is becoming more and more popular and trendy because it's real. Maybe it's not real, but we're making it real by believing it's real. So, for what that's worth, these cycles have happened before and they're going to happen again. And Earth is coming out of a dark ages cycle, headed into a golden ages cycle. And I could those are all just for lack of better words. But if you're here watching this video, I know you know what I'm talking about. I know you can feel it and I know you can see it. And although things seem really bad right now and people feel like we're not making any progress, keep faith. We're making progress. Keep being the warrior that you are. We're making progress. Remember, progress isn't necessarily about our generation either. So as you feel like we're not making progress, think of your children. Think of your mother and grandmother. What rights did your mother and grandmother not have? What hardships did they have that you now don't blink an eye at because it's so automatic and systematic that it's very easy? I remember reading a story that my grandmother wrote in a biography about she wasn't getting any respect in the family at 15 years old about being capable of things. And so she went out and killed a turkey, I think it was a turkey, and prepared the whole dinner, did everything. And everyone was impressed. And then she earned her respect. And I don't have to do that to earn respect these days. I can put on a smile and see someone for who they are, and that's respect. My grandmother couldn't open a bank account without a permission or cosign, like without it being her husband's bank account, and she's a cosigner on it. These things have changed over generations. And so even though things can feel really rough and uncertain and useless right now, they are paving the way for change going forward. It's not just about us. It's not just about our lives. It's about the whole. And I know this to be true because if it wasn't true, then I would have died as a teenager instead of giving birth to 2 new offspring for the new generations. For someone who did not want to be here, for God to change my path to be a mother to future generations, and then put me on the path of being a leader and a speaker upon this new earth and this new paradigm we're headed towards, that's not small. It's by divine order. And if the things like that are happening in my life, I bet they're happening in your life too. Mostly because if you're not watching, or if you're watching this video, then you're resonating on the same path, on the same journey of leadership, of healing, of guiding, of being a light worker, and maybe it's none of that. Maybe it's just finding yourself. Because yeah, I'm not here necessarily to guide light workers and guide healers, but I know that those are the ones that resonate with me the most and the deepest. But also anybody that is excited about self-improvement and just wants to grow and be a better person and always do what they can to be a good person. Why is that important? Because we've experienced pain. I'm gonna take a drink for a moment. People like me highly value being a good person because we have experienced pain, hardship, betrayals, injustice, repeat, so on, etc., etc. And people like me don't want to be the same. We don't want to be the cause for someone else to go through those experiences and have that pain. And we know it's within our control to change. we have the tools, which is intention. Intention is pretty much the only tool you need for anything. We can intentionally change our trajectory. We can intentionally change our habits. We can intentionally change our subconscious way of being. And that comes with awareness. And that comes with pausing. And that comes with meditating. And that comes with maybe just noticing the way someone responded when you used a harsh tone. Or maybe that comes with noticing the way someone flinched when you were passive aggressive with explaining how they did something that you didn't like them to do. It becomes with awareness of self first. And then through that self-awareness, we start to notice those things in other people as well. And then that's where criticism can sink in and start to hijack our spiritual journey. And then from that criticism, we need to turn that into compassion and curiosity. 11:11, as I said that. Compassion and curiosity. Those are two of the greatest qualities to help you on your journey. Because I know, as someone who likes to follow rules, when I see someone who doesn't follow rules and have no remorse over it, I feel jealous about their lack of emotion. Like, well, I wish I could just not have remorse. Like, but I love remorse because it allows me to know when I'm not acting out of love. Because God is love and love is God, and God is everything and love is everything. Aloha keakua. All right. Well, I am going to end this video here. I'm not sure what the title of this video is. This is one of those moments where I am blank and I have no idea what was said over the last 12 minutes. Love yourself. Earth is changing. Let's embrace this changing and be on this journey together, right? Compassion and curiosity. Those are wonderful things that are gonna get you. If you, I often run into, I know I said it's going to end the video. I often run into people that say they are frustrated with society and they like isolating because they don't like being around people and all those things. But also, like, if you want to be successful, or if you are tired of feeling lonely, or, and mind you, anything that you're feeling needs to be dealt with inside before you can do it externally. But I am about to give an external reference purely for referencing. So if you're tired of feeling lonely, now I completely forgot where I was going with that. If you're going to reach for things else, yep, see, totally forgot where I was going with it. And that's how you know a lot of this stuff I can't make up. It just comes through. We're going to end the video there. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. Click like, comment, subscribe, share, all those things, because if there's not a call to action, then your mind is not primed to participate with the video, with me as a human on this other side of a camera. Marketing tactics are weird. I have paid for many courses on the marketing tactics, and they're great, except it's just not what I am here to do. There's power behind voice. There's power behind choosing the words as they come. And most importantly, there's power behind knowing that this isn't AI. A huge reason I got off Instagram, so I don't know if I've mentioned this, from 2016 to up until like last year, recently, I was on Instagram and posted mostly every day for all those years. There were some years that were a little less than others for different reasons, but even I went through Dark Night of the Soul and I was still posting. I was documenting that pain, that experience. And then I was building a house, and so the post kind of dropped off as much as I tried to document that. But it was also personal and not like awakening. And with these experiences of AI popping up, I found that people within my same niche in development, their AI was sounding like my words from my own heart. And felt I felt things I didn't like to feel. And oh, this is coming back to the emotion that I was thinking earlier that I said I forgot. Okay, so I was feeling things that I didn't like to feel. And so I just cut out the Instagram, right? But now that I realize I should probably deal with why I felt those feelings. Like I didn't want to feel like I was competing against AI. And I didn't want to feel like people had a question if my posts were from AI. I didn't want to have to put a disclaimer on there, all my things. This is not from AI, blah, blah, blah. And as I use AI and research more and more, most often its information isn't the greatest. I mean, maybe I haven't spent the time training it, but who does spend the time training it? And so what are you getting? You're getting back out of AI what you're putting into it is what you're getting. And I didn't want that confusion to be there. They say in relationships, even if everything is good, if you're questioning if everything is good, that's going to create more of a toxic environment than things being bad. Because if things are being bad, then you can at least fix them. But if you're just always questioning, how do you fix always questioning? That was a huge lesson that I had to learn personally also. No, that's not true. There were signs. Okay, we're not talking about that. So, lost the train of thought thinking about my ex-boyfriend. AI. I am not AI. And that is why these videos, I think, ultimately, I feel like that's why these videos were pulling on so strong. And from my esoteric and astrology side of me, there are some huge shifts coming over these next 5 years. And humanity is going to need all the realness and all the truth and all the leaders and support that they can get. And so here we are. And you can't get this through Instagram, through 60-second videos. Even though that's what people's attention span is at, that's just not what you're going to get, right? I spend time watching videos like this and more so listening as I'm driving, as I'm doing laundry, certain things. But I have such a faith and an intuition that I know the information I'm getting is the information that I need to hear at that time. And that's the type of faith that just keeps you going. That's the faith that creates manifestation. That's the faith that you back your imagination with. That's the imagination that you're creating reality with. Oh, my nose has fuzzies from cat hair. I don't know. NK. Ending the video for real now. My name's Deb, here to share the human experience, help others gain insight with their human experience. And I really actually just don't know what else to call what it is that my gift is, which is being able to see into others and allow them to feel seen and feel a sense of comfort that they have never felt before. And that's what I offer in sessions, is when people are sitting with themselves, with someone else, they often don't even want to, or even just with themselves, they don't even want to admit to themselves what it is that they don't love. Because when you're with yourself and you go into those holes, sometimes it's not a good hole that you don't know if you can come back out of. But when you're with a grounding presence that makes you feel calm and comforting, it allows space for you to go into those holes and see it, knowing you're not going to get wrapped up into a hole, because you're with another presence that is grounded and you're calm and comforted. You're not psychotic and racing thoughts. You're just like, oh, I see how this is affecting me now. Wow, I see why I've been doing this. Wow, I see. And I help people see because I can see. And we're all reflectors. So when you're in presence with me, I help you to see. I'm like a giant third eye right in your face with a mirror. My name's Deb. Deborah. So it be. Have a blessed day.